Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Keith here from Commander Hoop Celtic. If this is your first time coming across the channel, if you could press the subscribe button, it would be really appreciated. Even a thumbs up or a comment below. And most of all, let us know what the sound's like as well at the end of this video. Folks, big game tomorrow. Uncertainty about the results. You know, we're playing against a top class team tomorrow, Bayern Leverkusen. They're second in Bundesliga, 3 points behind Bayern Munich. They're coming to Celtic Park. And at the moment, we're injury struck. James Forrest is out. Christopher Julian's still out. Jovanovic is out. Dembele's out. Mikey Johnson's out. And the likes of Kyogo could feature tomorrow. Our captain could feature tomorrow. Mcgregor. I hope he does. I hope he starts. And Giamakis could feature tomorrow as well. Look, we're lacking options up front at the moment. With the likes of Kyogo at the being out. Now there's talk of, Ange said it today, there's talk of Kyogo could be going with the Japanese squad to play in the World Cup qualifiers. Callum's going to join Steve Clarke's team as well for the Scotland games. So I'm just hoping that we don't pick up more injuries on this international break, because we've been, obviously these lads have been out for a couple of weeks and we still haven't seen Giamakis since he signed, you know, from VV Veno. We still haven't seen him yet, and it's a case that we need ammunition up front. I'm optimistic that we can give Leverkusen the game tomorrow, especially at home. Celtic fans are the 12th man. It could be a case that they might just outclass us on the pitch and hammer us. It could go that way, you know. Dundee United was disappointing the weekend. There was a lot of furious fans calling Ange out, saying he needs to be sacked. I done a poll on Instagram. I said I back Ange. 90% of people said they backed with me to back him, and 10% didn't. We're all tied to our opinions, but I think this man's like coming in 3 months ago and you want to get rid of him already because we're 7 points behind the league. We have 32 games to go, folks. 32 games. It's going to be a long season. You know, there's League Cup games in there we have to play. There's the Scottish Cup to play. There's Europa League games to play. And Rangers have to do the same as well. Look, the Rangers are not on great form already. They will drop points. They've already dropped points this season to the likes of Dundee United, which we did as well. But I'm optimistic. This man hasn't got his best 11 out on the pitch yet. There's always been injury problems, and that's how a squad works, you know. We don't have enough core in the squad to do good changes. The bench is absolutely horrendous at the moment. There's limited options on the bench. You know, the likes of Montgomery can come on. Scales is on the bench. We don't have another forward to pick from. You know, it's desperate. It's desperate times. And if I had my way tomorrow, I'd probably rest a few of the players and put out minimum ration players we can to focus on Aberdeen. I know people want to win in Europe. There's prize money to be done in the group stages. Fans are at the buying these tickets, but Aberdeen's more important the weekend, and we need to focus on beating them most of all. We don't want to be going this game and picking up another 2 or 3 more injuries. You know, is it a case that Ange ball is tense, it's not suiting these players and they're getting injured too much? Is it that case, or is it a case that we're just being unlucky and players are just getting milked and they're picking up bad injuries? Let me know what you think. My starting lineup for tomorrow will be Joe Hart in goal. If Callum doesn't play, Joe Hart will captain the team again for the 4th time. It will be right back Anthony Ralston. Left back, I'm going to go with Bolingoli. No, apologies, Bolingoli is actually not in the squad. I'm going to go for Montgomery. Centre back will be Starfelt and Vickers. A lot of people maybe want Welch, but Welch hasn't played much in recent times, so Starfelt in there. Starfelt is a train wreck at the moment. He's still very uncomfortable on the ball. Domestically and European, he's just nervous on the ball. Cameron Vickers, more composed. He's done well to his Celtic career so far. I'm enjoying watching him so far. There is cons with him like every player, but I've seen more positive than negatives with Cameron Vickers. Defensive midfielder would have to be James McCarthy if Callum McGregor does not start. James McCarthy is not up to the pace, but I'd put James McCarthy in there ahead of Sorrow. I've seen a lot of frustration with Celtic fans in recent times, and I agree with them on this point. Sorrow can't tackle for his life. Yes, he scored a phenomenal goal last year against Dundee United to get the goal of the season. In his terms, Celtic's goal of the season. But as a defensive midfielder, if you can't tackle, you're not good enough for the club. We're against tense battles against the likes of Bayern Leverkusen, derby games, and we need a good defensive midfielder in there. At the moment, we're missing that. With Callum being out, it's just an absent spot, and it's desperate to watch. Like, it's come to the case where you put Near Beaton in there because he can tackle better than Sorrow. You know, like, Near Beaton doesn't have the legs to push at that pitch. I'm sorry, but his days are numbered at Celtic. So I'll go with James McCarthy in there, Tom Rogic and David Turnbull. Something's telling me in my mind that this is a Tom Rogic game, that he's going to stand out. And something's telling me that David Turnbull is going to have a frustrating night tomorrow night. I don't want to jinx this, but I just think they're two playmakers. They're very similar in the style of football they play. And I think playing the two of them at the same time is not ideal. Especially in Europe, it's not ideal. Look, they had a good game against Betis. Rogic was phenomenal against Betis. Turnbull had spells in the game, but I just feel in the back of my mind this is not working. We've seen it even in the league against Livingston. They're very similar to what they try to do, bring the ball in and try to take it on, and then the decision making at the end just crucifies them. So let's see what happens. He might prove me wrong tomorrow, and I hope they prove me wrong, and I hope they prove the fans wrong that they're too similar the way they play, because Tom Rogic is not a track back. He doesn't track back. You just have to put him in there, basically playing the 9 role right behind him, just pinging the balls into the striker. That's what he's notorious for. That's who Rogic does, and Turnbull does that as well. But Turnbull has a shot on him that could cause the Leverkusen keeper big trouble tomorrow. We shall see. Right wing would have to be Liel Abada. I think Abada's been outstanding. You know, I've been impressed with Abada so far. He scored the weekend. Left would be Jota. I think Jota's press conference yesterday was very good. You know, as you said, playing for Celtic, he's dealt with the pressure of playing for a big club like Benfica. Coming to Celtic, it's the same thing. Fans demand to win and win every week, and that's not the way it is, unfortunately. So hopefully Jota has a good performance tomorrow in Europe, and then up front it has to be a Yeti. Look, at some fans have said it in other channels. Would you not start Montgomery, drop a Yeti, and bring Abada in and play Jota on the right? It's not a bad show, but I go with Yeti. This is the thing about having Yeti is he turned up against Betis and he was outstanding. The following game against Ross County was good, and then he was literally 2 yards out against Dundee United. He scuffs it. Will he turn up tomorrow and get a goal? Hopefully. The bench is worrying. We have more of a defensive bench than anything else. With the likes of, I don't even know if Moffa is actually in the Europa League squad. To be honest with you, I know he was on the bench the other day against Dundee United. It's just not much on the bench that we can pick from. You know, Sorrow could be on the bench. I don't want to really bring him on because more like he'll probably get booked. He's just atrocious at tackling at the moment. He just gives away stupid fouls, and we don't need that. We need someone that's consistent and that's going to graft, you know. Fair enough, every defensive midfielder probably gives away 1 or 2 fouls in the game, but his ratio of giving away so many fouls is ridiculous. You could see the fans were getting on his neck the other day because he was just giving away stupid fouls. So I don't start him. My score prediction for tomorrow, I'm going to be brutally honest. I'm going to say 2-2. And I don't know why I'm saying 2-2 because this is a tough one to say. I fancy Roger scoring tomorrow, and I fancy Abada scoring tomorrow. Regards to defensive issues, I think they're going to absolutely run amok on the wings against us, and they're going to get a goal on the counter attack. And I think at the back, regards to a set piece, I just think they look more physical and they're going to get a goal off us. So I'm going to go with 2-2 tomorrow. I'd be happy with 2-2. It just once we don't get injuries and once we get to see the likes of Callum come back and the fans are electric and Kyogo even gets some few minutes under his belt, that's all I want to see tomorrow. I don't really care about the Europa League, to be honest with you, because the league is the bread and butter. We want to prove the critics wrong. I want, obviously, this team to prove our small minority of fans that are against Ange already. Look, Ange came in, didn't get to pick his own coaching staff. He hasn't had a full sexy 11 that you can pick from that suits his style of football. There's reserve players coming in, there is literally benchmarkers coming in, and they're not relishing their chance that they should be playing to the standards. But It's the change of football as well, and it just hasn't adapted to some players. Some players are striving off, you know. Rodgers has been unbelievable under Ange since he came in. You know, McGregor's been fantastic when he's played as well. You know, Abada's been brilliant. Yotta's been brilliant. Kyogo's been brilliant. The defence is the problem. You know, Rolston has strived in some games. The left back's a big problem at the moment. Centre back, we have Starfelt that hasn't settled. This could be a game tomorrow where he might get a goal. We shall see. The keeper settled. I think Joe Hart's been alright so far. And then the likes of Karen Vickers, he's settled as well. So I'm going to go with 2-2 tomorrow, folks. Let us know what it sounds like in the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Hail, hail.